gentlemen, welcome to Polycon 18. Can you just first of all give us your name, your title, and what you're best known for in the blockchain space? And I'll go to both of you.
Yeah, my name is Shawn Owen, CEO of Salt Lending, best known for the place to go if you're looking for a loan against your cryptocurrencies and you need some cash.
Very nice. Cool.
My name is Erick Miller, and I'm the CEO of CoinCircle, also Managing Director of Hyperspeed Ventures. CoinCircle is an end-to-end platform for tokenization of private companies.
Okay, perfect. Next question is going to be, can you in one line tell us about Polymath?
The stampede is coming. No.
Hey, I like it. It's one line.
Polymath is the equivalent of what has been happening with Ethereum, but now for the securities tokens.
Same question.
Yeah, I think that the market for securities tokens is going to be huge. Like, there's a massive amount of value in the world that hasn't been unlocked yet, and I think that Polymath will be one of the big components in the path towards getting there.
Okay. And let's stay with Polymath. Can you let us know a little bit more about you and how you're involved with Polymath?
Sure. So I've known the Polymath team for quite a long time now, and have been a big fan of seeing it go through the iterations of kind of evolving into what it is now, which is very impressive.
The question was, how are you involved with Polymath?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've known the team, and I've been in the space, for a while, and we're looking at ways that we can work together, sort of the ways CoinCircle and Polymath can work together, and I think it's a great project. So,
yeah, couldn't agree more. Guys, how do we think that the security token market is going to be disruptive to the actual cryptocurrency space?
Yeah, so there's a very big, well-known problem right now in the space around securities, which is this a security or is this not a security? And I think that Polymath specifically will be very, very disruptive in solving that problem. There is a giant amount of institutions, entities, private companies, etc., that would like to issue tokens in the form of equities, but just need a clear way to do it. Mm-hmm. So solving that at a technological layer is going to be very powerful.
Yeah, if you look at the assets that are considered securities today, equities or derivatives or REITs, real estate investment trusts. These can all be represented as digital tokens, and that's just the existing market. But there's a ton of projects that could be cryptocurrency or tokenized securities that are kind of laying latent, that haven't been created yet because of the problem of not having a securities token solution. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really where the big opportunity is. And so the global equities market, it's trillions and trillions and trillions of dollars, but that sort of unlocked opportunity is an additional sort of unknown trillions. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of where I think the powerful kind of big opportunity and the Polymath solution will come into play.
Very cool. And I'm sure we're all very familiar with ICOs. And what do you predict the future of ICOs is, either security or utility, and why do you think that?
I think it's actually going to be both of those and many more, although I think there'll be big buckets that things fall into, which is simply a security, as equity or debt. As a utility, does it have some way of a utility of a closed-loop payment system or currency? But if you really look at what's happening in the database layer, it's kind of a migration of data from traditional siloed databases that everybody has their own copy onto a distributed blockchain database where everybody's sharing a copy. So it effectively could record all types of different information, whether it be titles, points, currencies, you name it. So I think we're going to see some of these problems get solved specifically around securities, which has been a big hot topic. Some of the problems get solved around other types of value transfer, and then you're going to see a wave of it just kind of becoming part of the internet rather than a buzzword.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Thank you. Same question, please.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, and I think that what we're seeing is a migration from, sort of the economy transformed. There was a day where debits and credits was a new technology, right? And sort of accounting emerged, and then there was sort of the old economy emerged, and sort of the manufacturing and the sort of the transformation that happened there. And then you had the internet and the computer networks, and then there was a new economy. And right now we're transitioning into a completely new economy, and most people don't recognize it, but it's a crypto economy that we're transitioning into, and that will be powered by no centralized authority controlling it, and completely decentralized peer-to-peer networks where transactions are occurring. And it's just the question is, what are those transactions? Yep. What's the underlying thing that's being transacted? Is that a piece of software, or is that something that may need to be regulated because it's considered an investment contract and it might be considered a security? And I think both of those assets will exist, as well as additional other forms of assets. And really, when it comes to the decentralization of the tokenization of assets and the sort of decentralized networks that exist. There won't be, a real easy way for regulators to control that, and so it'll be an interesting aspect of the future and kind of where we're headed.
Okay, thank you. So, last question: how do you think that securities on the blockchain will affect Wall Street and even finance?
Yeah, so I think the closest analogy that most of us remember is when trading was done in the pit and everybody had paper and they were running around doing trades, and there was a whole ecosystem built around that, lots of professions and jobs, and it had to be done in the physical form in locations like New York, etc. And then along comes electronic trading, and it kind of gave everybody a curveball, or had to think about what are the implications. Regulators were all over it. There was lots of different speculation about where it was going to all land, but then suddenly everything was disrupted, and now anybody can open up a brokerage account anywhere. And I see this being very similar in the same way, which is we're in that phase where it's upheaval, and everybody's trying to figure out what does this mean. The technology is what it is, and it does what it does, and so it's happening. And I think you're going to see massive disruption with value being recorded, securities being recorded, and a whole new layer that disrupts Wall Street.
Yeah.
Probably in a positive.
Yeah, well, I think so as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, repeat the question. I just want to make sure.
So the question was, how do you think securities on the blockchain will affect Wall Street and even finance?
Yeah. I mean, so everything he just said.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it's just
it
is.
answer.
It's like the next evolution, but also I think so. It's possible, right, that all all assets could be tokenized in the future. It's possible that at some point, like, equity financing won't exist. And if that's the case, then there is this kind of massive transformation that could occur. I'm not going to say that that'll happen, because right now we're in this hybrid state, and I kind of like the hybrid state, like where you can create tokens and it's an additional channel of value, and then you can also finance using equity. And in some ways, it's not zero sum because of that. But ultimately, if all value can be represented as sort of some kind of tokenized asset, then equities will be represented that way as well. And so I think it's highly disruptive, and it's highly disruptive kind of as well in terms of the underlying nature of how blockchain is emerging, right? It's kind of not quite usable. People don't take it seriously. Oh, it can't scale. But then all of a sudden, you have this sort of exponential acceleration of some of the features and the growth of the network and the growth of a user base, and in this case, the value of the underlying cryptocurrencies as well. And now we're starting to see, kind of. And it's cool to be on the inside, of this world, and you're really seeing, like, wow, these are the people that will actually be disrupting finance, and it's happening. So
right in front of our eyes.
Right in front of our eyes. Yeah.
Cool point, gentlemen. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to meet you.
Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.